Let's get to the first email of the day. And the first email today comes to us from Darth Impakk, who writes, "Hey, John, hear the news? Hellboy got pushed back to April 2019. A lot of people are panicking, but to me, it's just them putting finishing touches on it. Also, putting it in the same month as Avengers 4 and Shazam. Foolish or confident? Thanks, stay filthy." All right, thanks a lot for the question, man. And yes, news did drop yesterday that Hellboy has been moved off its January release date, moving 3 months back into April. So that dropped yesterday afternoon, shortly after we finished the John Campea show yesterday, and now we know that's happening. Are they pushing it to put on finishing touches? No, this movie's done. The movie's done. They didn't push it to put on finishing touches. That had nothing to do with it. They just decided to change the release date. You know, yesterday on The Weekly Hero, Robert Meyer Burnett and I, and by the way, it's up on the channel now. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It was a lot of fun yesterday. Robert Meyer Burnett and I were talking about that yesterday. And Robert feels that the move suggests a lot of confidence on the part of the studio, thinking, you know what? This movie's good enough. We don't need to release it in the dumping ground of January. Although I think there's potential to make a lot of money putting a good, popular movie in one of those dumping ground months. I think there's money to be made, but whatever. Robert's idea, and I don't disagree with him, his notion was that, look, April is now kind of the unofficial start of the movie season, the summer movie season. Really, it's May, but technically, but in a way, you could sort of make the argument that lately April's kind of becoming that month. You've got stiff competition in there. You got Shazam coming out, and then in May, you've got Avengers 4 coming out. So you got stiff competition, all that kind of stuff. All that added up to Robert feeling like this was a giant show of confidence from the studio in the movie to move it into April. That we believe we can put this in a month when more people go to the movies, and even though there's some stiff competition there, we believe our film will do well. And he sees it as a sign of confidence. And while that's not my first notion, I honestly can't disagree with him. I mean, moving it, first of all, this movie has been done for a while. They didn't need extra time. They are still releasing a trailer at New York City Comic Con in October. We've known that too. So that's all coming as well. So the jump does surprise me. I am surprised that they're moving it into April. But it's not that big of a move going from January to April. And it actually does have hints of confidence that you're taking it from a pretty easy schedule into a fairly challenging schedule. And that's really the big thing. Look, the report in The Hollywood Reporter brings up a couple things when they say this. The film's release date has been pushed back to April 12th, 2019. Summit Entertainment announced Wednesday. It previously had been set to open on January 11th. The new date means Hellboy will open just 1 week after superhero movie Shazam from Warner Brothers and DC. That film opens April 5th. April 12th, 2019 already has a few wide releases set to debut, and Hellboy will now square off against Robert Downey Jr.'s The Voyage of Dr. Dolittle from Universal. See, this is the one bit that makes me question the wisdom of this move. Look, I believe big superhero movies can live in the same month. I just don't believe it's wise to put it on the exact next week of a big superhero movie. Like, make it 2 weeks apart. That's fine. 2 week separation, in my opinion, is enough time. That's enough space. But putting it right the next week after Shazam? I got to be honest with you. I question that a little bit. I question whether that was wise. Does it show confidence? Yes. Does it show some testicular fortitude? Absolutely it does. But I do question the wisdom of it. And Robert Downey Jr., and they're making a big deal out of this Dolittle movie of his. It's got a lot of big stars in it, obviously being led by Robert Downey Jr. Putting it on the same day? Now, granted, a Dr. Dolittle movie and a Hellboy, they're going to be going after different demographics, yes. But still, it's a fairly big film you're now opening against. So, on the one hand, yeah, it does show some confidence. But on the other hand, I wonder if it was wise. I can't help but wonder that it might have been wiser just to keep it in January. But we're going to have to wait and see. I'm always belly aching about studios should show more confidence in their movies. And here you got a studio showing more confidence, and I'm going, but was it wise? Anyway, let's move on to the next topic.